We're about to learn the findings of the sprawling and politically explosive Benghazi investigation. The Republican-led House Select Committee this morning will release the results of its more than two-year investigation. It will reportedly detail then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's actions related to the deadly attacks in 2012 that killed 4 Americans.
Democrats on the committee already released their own version. Their report was seen as an attempt to protect Clinton. Margaret Brennan is at the State Department with the investigation that could impact the presidential race. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning. Well, the 4 Americans killed in the Benghazi attacks are memorialized here at the State Department. But how they died is now political fodder for Democrats who support Hillary Clinton and Republicans who accuse her of stonewalling.
Correspondent Catherine Harris joins us now. She's been poring all over the report, including a raft of new emails from Mrs. Clinton that clearly indicate the attack was the work of terrorists. Catherine?
Thank you, Eric. The Republican Majority Report identifies for the first time a key White House meeting on September 11, 2012, about 3 hours into the terrorist attack. The meeting included senior deputies to the cabinet, as well as then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. At that time, the terrorist attack in Benghazi was ongoing. Foreign Service Officer Sean Smith was dead. Ambassador Chris Stevens was missing. And the 2 former Navy SEALs who died defending the CIA base were still alive. But instead of focusing on getting immediate military help to the Americans, the report found the focus was on a video wrongly blamed by the White House for inspiring the assault. Quote, much of the conversation focused on the video, which is surprising, given no direct link or solid evidence existed connecting the attacks in Benghazi and the video at that time. 5 of the 10 action items from the rough notes of the 7:30 p.m. meeting reference the video. Clinton's State Department Deputy Patrick Kennedy told investigators they were concerned about diplomatic sensitivities and whether military personnel sent to Libya should wear uniforms. According to one military commander, his team changed in and out of their uniforms at least 3 times that night. Committee Republicans say the deputies' meeting, in which Clinton was involved, shows she's not ready to be commander-in-chief and received the so-called 3 a.m. phone call. There was no decisive leadership that night, Republicans said, or muscular military response.
You'll see the details in the report. It's a tale of the absence of vigor and energy that if it was my son or your husband or your child, you would say that's an inadequate response from the senior leadership in the United States government.
So what did the then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have to say shortly after that attack? These are her comments from September the 12th, the day after Benghazi, where she again referenced a video as the cause, despite knowing the night before that it was a terrorist attack. Listen to this.
Some have sought to justify this vicious behavior along with the protest that took place at our embassy in Cairo yesterday as a response to inflammatory material posted on the internet. America's commitment to religious tolerance goes back to the very beginning of our nation. But let me be clear. There is no justification for this.
This was not a pre-planned, premeditated attack. That what happened initially was that it was a spontaneous reaction to what had just transpired in Cairo as a consequence of the video.
Would a highly decorated career diplomat have told you or Washington had there been a demonstration outside his facility that day?
Yes, sir, he would have.
Did he mention one word about a protest or a demonstration?
No, sir, he did not.
The notion that there was evidence of a stand-down order given by anybody, including the CIA chief on the ground in Benghazi, is false.
It happened that night. That happened. We were told to wait and stand down. We were delayed 3 times. To me, if without the delay, they would still be alive. My gut is yes.
You in on that?
I'd strongly believe if we'd have left immediately, they'd still be alive
These are Americans
today.
under fire. Then afterwards, you know, she writes her daughter, she talks to the Libyan president, the Egyptian prime minister. To her daughter, for example, she sent an email that says, 2 of our officers were killed in Benghazi by an al-Qaeda-like group, the ambassador whom I handpicked, a young communications officer on temporary duty with a wife and 2 very young children. Very hard day, and I fear more of the same tomorrow. So she admitted to the Libyan president, the Egyptian prime minister, and her own daughter this was a terrorist attack. Simultaneously, she was telling the American people a different story, that it was not a terror attack, that it was a YouTube-related event that inspired this you know, it was spontaneous. They just happened to have mortars in their back pocket.
She lied. She lied. That's what she does. She lied.
Why do you think people don't pay as much attention to that?
Trust is the glue that holds our democracy together. But it's no secret that Americans' trust in government has eroded. And I personally know I have work to do on this front. A lot of people tell pollsters they don't trust me. Now, I don't like hearing that.
What difference at this point does it make?